Hey everyone, I just want to take a minute to do a video that I haven't seen yet on YouTube, and that video is comparing the 17-inch Blackstone versus the 17-inch Suburban Griddle that came with my Rockwood 2509S that you can see outside there. So I thought I'd just do a quick comparison for those people wondering what the differences are. All right, so as you can see here, I've got them side by side, and the Suburban is on the left, the Blackstone is on the right. I had the Blackstone, I was working on the surface a little bit, trying to re-season a little bit. I might have to strip it down in the next year, but anyway, I just want to show you some of the differences and similarities. As you can see, it's a very similar layout of the two. And they are both, if I get a tape measure out here. So as you can see, the Blackstone, now that the side of that's pretty little warped. So from the outside edge to outside edge, you can see it's just under 17 and a half, maybe like 17 3/8 wide. And the Suburban Griddle is actually just under 18 inches wide. If you do the surface width of the Suburban, like the actual surface, 17 and a half, and the Blackstone is actually 17 inches wide. So as you can tell, the sizing is not consistent. Now the Blackstone 17 inch, if you do the surface, is about 15 and a quarter. And the Suburban depth is about 10 3/4. So as you can see, the sizing is quite a bit different. The Suburban is actually quite a bit smaller. Next thing I was going to do is measure the width or the size of the griddle itself. So if I go on the back edge of the Blackstone, I get about 3.25. And if I go on the back edge of the Suburban, it's about 3.7, 3.75, right in there. So the Suburban griddle top is actually slightly thicker. So that's a good overview. As far as continue on the outside, they both have the grease trap on the left-hand side. They both have dial control knobs, and they both light with a click system. You just turn it and click. Same thing on here. Turn it and click. Usually when I'm lighting it, I turn it and hold it right before it clicks. I hold it for 2 or 3 seconds, and then I click it, just to give time for that propane to get up through the burner before you try lighting it. If you just click it right away, it's not going to light. Other thing on the outside, I want to show the Blackstone hooks up with this connection right here. It comes with a connection for a 1-pound propane bottle, but I do have a hose. I believe I got it at propanegear.com. I have a hose that fits to the quick connect of the 2509S that just screws directly into that. The Suburban does not come with a connection for a 1-pound propane bottle. The Suburban comes with this little regulator right here and the quick release. I'm not quite sure why the regulator's needed, because there's one on the trailer, but it comes with it. Still seems to heat well. And it just uses a regular, male to female propane hose, 1/4 inch, I believe it is, and it connects to the quick release on the trailer. So that's the back side of both griddles. Pretty similar make. Okay, so this is with the griddle top off. As you can see, very similar design. Someone I saw online said that Suburban got their design from Blackstone and pays for the design, but they make it themselves at a different factory. So it looks like that might be the case, but obviously the Suburban is a little different. They both use an H-style burner, and obviously the Suburban's a little shorter The Suburban burner is about 8 3/4 inches wide, while the Blackstone is the Suburban burner is about 7 3/4 inches wide, and the Blackstone burner is about 7.5 inches wide. Really, and I did measure this. This is just over 1 millimeter. The sheet metal used to create the housing for these, and they are both just over 1 millimeter thick. So it seems like basically the same materials are used to make both units. I can't talk about the quality of, the control, but both seem to work fine for me. Now the one other difference I do want to point out is on the Suburban, it came with these brackets to work with this stand here that I should say bracket. That bracket hangs off the side of the trailer, and basically this can slide into it. I have seen several posts of people asking if that same bracket can be used with a 17-inch Blackstone, and what I would say is not without modification. So the bracket that comes with it just screws on with the feet, and the feet on the Suburban are from center foot about 6.5 inches, and on the Blackstone the feet are about 9.5 inches apart. So if you wanted to use it, you might be able to drill a hole in here about 6.5 inches apart and use like a bolt and a nut. But I'm not sure how stable that would be, because the Blackstone is thicker or deeper, and it bounces a lot already with the Suburban. So the Suburban Griddle, when I have it on that bracket on the side of the trailer, it bounces quite a bit. I don't really like the setup. I'm considering maybe just getting a table or stand to put next to my Blackstone, or something that will fit both of them next to each other, because I do use both of them. Neither one's very big, so I got a family of 4. Sometimes a couple extra people come with us. So when I've got those extra people, it's definitely nice having both griddles set up. So I don't really like the bracket. I'm probably going to see if I can buy a second shelf to use on that outside bracket and maybe stop using the griddle bracket. In the meantime, I've been using it. It works okay, but it does bounce a lot against the side of the trailer. And I also don't love, there's a good amount of distance between it, but I don't love the heat of the griddle that close to the trailer either. I like a little more separation. So anyway, that's a comparison of the Suburban 17-inch griddle that comes with the Rockwood trailers and the 17-inch Blackstone. Okay, quick pro tip for you guys. I'm getting ready to put these away. I got back from a little winter trip here. I was down in Florida. I live in Northeast Ohio, so got back from that last weekend. I'm getting ready to move my trailer to a storage place for a couple months. So if you are storing these griddles, a quick pro tip, use a little wax paper. Cover the surface of the griddle with the wax paper. Make sure it's slightly oiled. It doesn't have to be real thick oil, just real slight, like you normally would on a griddle. And then layer it with wax paper, and it'll prevent any rust. So if you are storing this in a high humidity environment where you think it might rust because you're not using it for a while, layer it with black wax paper, and it will protect the griddle while it's in storage. All right, everyone, thanks a lot.